Rob Van Dam. Listen to True Hill Heat. Pow.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up?
True Heel Heat.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and my co-host's Twitter for Rated Raw Review number 27, Three Little Words, reviewing the July 22nd, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by the president of the Charlotte Flair fan club, the president of the Liv Morgan fan club, the president of the Ariana Grace fan club, the president of your favorite wrestlers fan club. He is Mr. Romeo, Anthony Colon.
What's up, SP3? How's everyone doing? Good to be back. How you doing, buddy? How you enjoying the G1 so far?
I'm actually having fun with this year's G1. It's my Shota Aminu agenda is still growing strong. I got
Did he lose?
Huh?
Did he lose?
Yeah, he's 1-2. That's perfect.
1-2.
Three matches in, 1-2. If you follow the G1, you know that is good news.
Prime for a comeback.
Exactly. That is good
G1.
news. I don't know if you watched our G1 preview here on the channel, but I got jumped. I was the only one who was brave enough to go against the grain and not pick Zack Sabre Jr., and I picked Shota Umino, and I got jumped for it. Everybody else picked Zack Sabre Jr. to win the A block, Zack Sabre Jr. to win the whole G1. I was brave enough to pick Shota Umino, and I got jumped and assaulted for it. And now look at how things have come up. Freaking Zack Sabre Jr. beats the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Tetsuya Naito on day 2, and now he's 3-1. I mean 3-0, 3 matches in. Which, if you know the G1, you know that's not good news if you're going for Zack Sabre Jr.
No, that doesn't sound good at all.
So it's going well. It's going well. It's going well for me and my
I like
prediction.
your side. Let's go, Shota.
Thank you. Come on. Be brave. See, I'm brave. I take after you. You go against the grain. Sometimes you're droning, but you go against the grain a lot. So I appreciate you for going against the grain. You're not as bad as the other E-drones.
Violet B says my audio is kind of low. Is that true? Do I need to back up? Let me try something.
Yeah, I did like check if it was my headphones or not. I don't know if I'm okay, but
You sound
I trust Violet B. I trust Violet B. But yes, we got a lot to discuss from Monday Night Raw this week. We're just one more Monday Night Raw after last week until SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. So we're going to discuss everything that went down throughout the 3-hour show from last night. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. We appreciate y'all. If you're watching us on demand, remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, you could drop a heart, a thumbs up, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji. However, Monday Night Raw made you feel. If you're watching us on Romio's Twitter, drop the heart, retweet the video. It helps other wrestling fans like yourself see this True Heel Heat content. But most of all, if you're watching us, you sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your thoughts on Monday Night Raw and everything that went down, your hot takes, your questions. If you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. And like I always say, I got 2 kids. I got 2 4-year-olds. They're growing. My daughter is the height of an 8-year-old. So I need new clothes. So send no super chats and show some love. We got Kicking It with Leo joining us, saying Liv and Dom are still in cahoots, and they are playing Rhea to where she lets down her guard. And so when Dom turns, it's a moment she didn't see coming. I definitely got that feeling from the segment that we saw last night, Leo. It did feel like Liv was putting it on. She was trying to do a performance, but it was really bad crocodile tears. What did you think?
Yeah, I think I 100% agree with you. Like, that wasn't Liv being natural. That was Liv playing it over the top. She's trying to act, but you could tell she's acting. I don't think Dom and Rhea can tell.
No. Yeah. They thought they really pulled the fast one. Yeah. Eric Isaac saying, hey, THH fam, Dom, Rhea, Liv cycle continues. Braun continues to be a monster. Seth now in the Drew versus Punk match. Uncle Howdy gets his hands on Gable again. And party duo of the year, Jay and Sammy. I will say that Jay and Sammy entrance, that was a lot of fun. It brought me back to the days of the honorary Oos.
I love the handshake being back. Their chemistry never left, those two.
No. 100% agree with you there. We got Safet in the chat joining us. Thank you for joining us live. We got G Loke in the chat who says, what it do? So much to talk about. Please smash up the like. Let's go. Thank you, good brother. We got Chilling with Chase who says, good morning, Rated Raw crew. And thanks to Chase for joining me last week for our most viewed episode of Rated Raw Review, pulling back the curtain. The episode before that, Rated Raw Review number 25 with Romeo's Return, was our most viewed edition of Rated Raw Review. And I was like, man, Rhea and Romeo are the draws. And then Chase says, no,
the draw.
I'm a draw too. I'm a draw too. He's like, I'm a draw too. And we did over 1K for last week. Let's see if we can continue that trend this week. We also got Chase who says, hashtag Team Shota. We see, I'm building the bandwagon. I'm driving the bandwagon, but Romeo's jumping on board. Chase is jumping on board. This man going through injury. He had 2 back-to-back bangers against Shingo Takagi, and then today against Gabe Kidd. That's the one match I'd say, if anybody, if you wanna cherry pick and you only want to watch 1 or 2 matches from each show, from today's show, watch Takeshita versus Jeff Cobb and watch Shota Umino versus Gabe Kidd. I don't think there's going to be any more matchup throughout this G1, especially in the A block, that's going to have as much hatred and vitriol as those two. Those two do not like each other. It's great.
Yeah, I would have seen those matches without your recommendation, just from listening to who was in it, But I like Shota. Shota's amazing. Shota really tries to improve his craft in wrestling, and he's always trying to pull out something new. So I admire that from him.
Yeah, we got Vala B who says, I'm done with ads. Can't wait for that Netflix move. Dude, if you know anything from WWE and their premium live event, I guarantee you we will have ads or video packages in between matches. Just because they're off of cable doesn't mean we're not going to have ads on the Netflix era.
100%. The thing that's more annoying is when they bleep out the crowd or they black out the screen. We won't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing that we're not going to have
Which
to
they
deal
did
with,
more of,
which
last night.
They did. We also got Nikki Boys is watching the G1 currently. What's good? What's up, brother? He also says Dom's a bitch. That's it. That's the comment.
Nikki's very protective, overprotective, some might say, over Rhea Ripley.
We also got Vala B who says Dom thinks Tariq. He is Tariq on Ghost. He's juggling all the women. He just needs a third woman to be in a love rectangle like Tariq was.
He was already Tariq from dating his father. That alone.
Yeah, imagine we need someone who's good with like editing to put Ray's face on top of Ghost and Dom and Tariq about to shoot him.
Well, good thing for Ray, he's still alive. That works out.
Yeah,
So
and he won't be he won't be bitter like Ghost is. Well, the Omari Hardwick is. He seems very bitter about it.
You should be.
Big man.
He's the fucking star of the show. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Big man Dog says Liv calls him daddy, buys endless chicken nuggies for him, lets him play 2K with the boys all day. What does Rhea do besides physically and emotionally abuse him? She licks his face.
Listen, that comment's 100% right. Listen, I'm sorry. Liv Morgan is so much better for any guy, really. Like, fuck.
I mean, to be fair, what we saw last night was the most PDA that Rhea has shown to Dom since they got together 2 years ago. I'm like, they're definitely splitting this up.
And
we're getting PDA.
A lick. What is she, a dog?
Hey, it was a kiss first, a kiss on the cheek, and then a lick.
Kiss on the cheek.
She likes it. She likes it rough. She pulled his hair, kiss on the cheek, and then a lick. I mean,
still hasn't. Liv and Dom had more than that. They had an actual kiss.
This is true. Nikki Boy says Sammy is a real friend and instantly runs in, throws hands when he sees his homie getting jumped. That was a real one. I was like, yo, Sammy is still the honorary Oos. That was a real one right there. He was like, I'm busy talking about Braun Breaker, but I'm gonna help my boy.
You got it in mind? I mean, I like Sammy J. And when Sammy drops his Intercontinental title at SummerSlam, I think Sammy and Jay, it's a nice little tag run to hold the fort down until it's time, because we all roads lead to Bloodline War Games. We got some time to kill, and might as well get Sammy and Jay together right now so that it's easier to just go whoop right into that. I
agree. And what last night proved is that there might not be a better tag team wrestler or person to lay out a tag team matchup than Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn just excels at tag team matches.
Yeah. Yeah, he excels at a lot of things. He's amazing. One of the best of our time.
Absolutely agree. Nikki Boy says, if the shoe fits, Romeo, I'm as protective of mommy and you are protective of the queen.
Wow, I'm the hand of the queen, of course. I've been honored that title for years. Many titles.
Did she give you that title?
Yes, her herself. Yes, we've met plenty of times in person. SP3 doesn't like all the titles that I have. He thinks I need to narrow it down, but hand of the queen.
I think
not negotiable.
I think you were like, those people that be like, oh, I got a team for the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference, and then I got some backup teams.
I have the pin, the hand of the queen pin, but I'm not gonna get that right now. I'll get it when Charlotte returns.
I appreciated
you. It on herself.
I appreciated you more when you were just, president of the Charlotte Flair fan club and not multiple presidents.
Well, hand of the queen is higher than president. That's just so you know.
Look at this guy. He has multiple presidential roles that he's filling, but But America can't get one who wants to finish the job. We got a super chat donation. Thank you so much. Will Chisholm starting us off strong. He says, I almost felt bad for Liv. Then I remember that crying would get us in trouble with the cops.
The fuck?
What?
She knows about the cops.
Yeah, she knows really well about the cops. That's probably what got her out of trouble with the cops. Is she cried, and then they was like, you know what, sweetie, just go home.
Oh, she cried better than
that. Yeah, seriously. I don't think you're convincing any cops with that. We got Nikki Boy. He says, why not just give us a Jay Sammy tag title run? Wouldn't mind that, but this would upset a lot of Jey Uso fans who just want him to win one singles title. Just one.
I mean,
and his dad apparently wants him to win a singles title as well.
Both of those are coming. Tag title run and world title run. Rikishi, let it play out, will you? Jeez, a little patience. Did you hear what he said about Jay's wife?
He's like, you're trying to break up a marriage.
Come on, man. Will you stop? It's called acting, Rikishi. You did a little bit of it in the Fed yourself, did you not? Come on. You were a sultan. Come on.
Hey, man. Owen Hart didn't want to do any angle with Deborah because he didn't want to mess up his marriage. So Rikishi's just asking for the same for Jay. I get it. I get it.
When they did those storylines, those were different times. Those were attitude era. You might have an argument back then. We are in a new era now. So they kiss. It's acting. What? A break up a happy home? Plenty of other wrestlers have done it. Plenty other. Like, come on.
Hey,
it's part of the job.
Can't say he's wrong.
Well, I think it would do wonders for Jay. Jay's already over, but like the crowd really wants this. They really do.
I don't know.
I'm not the one.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good. I don't think Rhea needs a man. Rhea can stand on her own 2 feet. She's an independent woman.
The memes are so great. Have you seen the memes? The Waffle House meme.
They didn't laugh.
Rhea posted it.
I know. I don't laugh at those though.
She got confronted over it. How does Buddy feel?
Buddy's probably like, what the hell is going on? He was like, I had to deal with Dom. Now I got to deal with a fucking Samoan. Jesus Christ. We kick off Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was from Green Bay, Wisconsin. What did you think about the crowd last night? I don't know. That's a good question. It's a question that other people have asked. What did you think about the crowd last night?
The crowd was fine. I thought
they were pretty good. pretty good. Not exceptional. Excuse me. Not great, but pretty good. The show kicked off with a ring general, Gunther. He comes down to the ring, and man, oh man, these Green Bay fans did not like them some Gunther after last week. After last week with his classism, man, Gunther was out here getting Dominik Mysterio heat. This was great. He took some time to think about what he said last week to Damian Priest, and after taking the time, he meant every single word he said. And he says that every single person in this building is exactly like Damian Priest. A bum. Why is he out here first rather than Priest? It's because Priest isn't up to his level. There is a saying in German, I don't know what he said. Show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. And Gunther says that he thinks that it's time for the Judgment Day to be judged by the Ring General, and he judges them as all street trash. So Priest has one more chance to come out here and give Gunther the title so he can add some prestige before we get to SummerSlam. This cues up Damian Priest, who walked to the ring like he was on a mission. He hits the ring and immediately looks like he's going to say something, but he drops the mic, drops the title, and punches Gunther right in the mouth. And a brawl is on. Security comes to try to separate the two, but they are completely ineffective at their job. They get through. We get a kick from Damian Priest to Gunther, sending him outside as more security fills up the ring and tries to separate the two. Officials come out to separate the two. Damian Priest grabs one of the security and launches him over the top rope onto a pile of security and officials. This leads to the brawl going into the entranceway where security and officials once again try to separate the two. But the fight is not even over after we go to commercial break. We go backstage to Jackie Redmond, who's talking about how security and officials are separated the two. We see Gunther behind her trying to get himself all together and composed. But then Damian Priest attacks again. And the security and officials are once again separate the two until Gunther is scurried away outside the building. And then we are told a little bit later that both men have been banned from the building to stop this whole brawling. This was the best segment of this entire build-up to SummerSlam. You had Gunther come out there with amazing heat, the best heat that he's gotten. Even though he's been a dominant heel champion, he felt like the number one heel in this company in that opening promo because of the heat he was getting. He could barely talk at times. He was getting so much. He was getting Dominik Mysterio levels of heat. And then Damian Priest came off like an absolute badass babyface for the first time since becoming World Heavyweight Champion. This was a very effective brawl that really delivered in the opening segment, and it sets up a lot of people now are saying, I'm looking forward to this matchup. I knew this match would be good because Gunther's in it, but if Damian Priest can bring this type of fire, this type of badass babyface energy, it will be a great match at SummerSlam. Very effective segment. What did you think?
100% agree with everything you just said. Damian Priest came out with the fire. They've successfully gotten the crowd to be 100% behind Damian Priest as a baby face, which is nice. And the backstage brawl, who was that? Jackie Redmond, right?
Yeah.
She was like, I thought I'd get a word with Gunther or nah. And they just start going.
Yeah, he said or nah.
And then one of those things, I don't know what they're called, actually like fell on Priest. It looked like pretty hard on his back of his head, neck. That was crazy. But yeah, man, it's nice to see Priest in his position. Like you said, the match you already knew, probably it might be Damian Priest's best, considering who he's going to be in the ring with. And now it's got the story and the crowd with it too. So they're ready to go.
I 100% agree with you as well. We got Nikki Boy who says Gunther is the perfect heel for WWE. All they needed to do is sprinkle some classism on him, and he got him the most heat he's ever gotten. I didn't really like too much Gunther coming across as like this snob elitist, but man, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part that makes him heel. Because everything else, like, you kind of like, it has a point with everything else, the way Gunther talks. Like, he wants the mat is sacred, you know. He's a representative of the great sport. But then he drops a little bit of that elitism on you, and they're like, oh, fuck this guy then.
I'm like, fuck this dude. I'm out of here. But yeah, great start to the show with that opening segment in Brawl, but the show was going to get even better. As next up was a #1 contenders matchup to determine who will face Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. It was Ilya Dragunov going one-on-one with Braun Breaker, and it was Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker. So I have one hint on what happened here. They beat the shit out of each other. And Breaker starts off fast. He knocks him outside, but Dragunov is able to score with a running knee to the back inside. They head on the apron. They start slugging it out. We get Breaker, who picks up Dragunov on the bottom rope and then drops him ribs first right on the ring post, which really created the story of the matchup, with Dragunov favoring his ribs for the rest of this matchup and Breaker trying to wear him down. He had a bear hug at one point to stay on the ribs. Gutbuster by Breaker gives him a 2 count. Dragunov is able to reverse a powerbomb into a DDT for a breather. He hits a big running knee to the ribs in the corner. He manages a powerbomb, which always looks like he's struggling, but it looked like more of a struggle because of the ribs here. When Dragunov goes up to the top rope, Breaker jumps up and hits a super Frankensteiner, which Pat McAfee coined it the Breakensteiner. I was like, McAfee, that might be your best contribution to commentary in a while.
Cole immediately is like, "What did you say?" And he just loved it immediately. He's like, "That's what it is. We're running with it. We're rolling with it." He just created it.
Breaker goes up and gets superplexed back down. We get a big old H-bomb to get a 1-2 kick out. They go to the apron where Breaker is fighting off Dragunov, but Dragunov manages to hit a Death Valley driver that really rocks Breaker. Not that matters, though, as Dragunov tries to go off just to go for a H-bomb off the apron to the floor, but Breaker gets up. It's a ridiculous looking spear in midair where Dragunov goes headfirst into the LED board on the apron, and he is knocked the fuck out. This causes a referee stoppage victory for Braun Breaker as the referee calls it off. This went over 13 minutes. This was an absolute banger. This is what I want. I will go all day for Braun Breaker referee stoppage wins over disqualification. It ends the streak of Braun Breaker being involved in multiple disqualifications over the last month. And this was a very effective finish where you protect Dragunov. He doesn't take another pin. Braun comes off like a killer, and the spear comes off like a world beater. And he is officially #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. He will face Sami Zayn in a rematch from Money in the Bank a week from Saturday at SummerSlam. What did you think about this matchup? I thought it was great.
Yeah, I remember me and you spoke before. I was like, kind of stop running Braun and Ilya. Don't run it into the ground. But this one I was okay with because this one actually had stakes, which was #1 contender. So I was fine with that. And I was kind of surprised, actually, because, I kind of thought maybe we'd get a triple threat match. There's going to be like some kind of non-finish to this match last night. But no, they made the decision. Braun's going over. It's going over by ref stoppage. And the ref stoppage came across pretty cool and badass with that spear on the outside. And, this crowd, they want to cheer Braun, man. They want to cheer Braun so bad. They pop for everything he does. They love him when he's firing up the crowd. The Breakensteiner, when he's showing off and he's showboating. And even after the spear, when he's yelling in Ilya's face like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin after a stunner. It's all over with the crowd. It's all over. They love it. They want to erupt. But they can't really because they like Ilya. They definitely can't against Sammy, really. But like if you put him in the ring against someone else, like let's say Bronson Reed, it's gonna come across. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it loud and proud.
That's why I like what would happen later on in the night after the main event, because I feel like it's setting up. He's more than likely they saved the big moment for Braun to happen at SummerSlam for him to win the Intercontinental Championship there instead of Money in the Bank. And I feel like with Sammy now aligned with Jey Uso, that's a natural person for him to feud with for the Intercontinental Championship, who's an over babyface where he can retain his heel act, because I feel like he's going to be much stronger and have a higher ceiling as a heel on the main roster. But I think eventually, like in a couple of months, 6 months to a year, he's going to be probably one of the most popular baby faces for sure, because he's such a killer, such a beast in the ring.
Yep, but for now, stay the course. Don't give in to temptation. Have Braun be a strong IC champ, heel champ, and we gotta get John Cena coming after that gold for the first time. Let's try and win it.
Absolutely.
From Braun.
He's like, there's only a couple of things I've never accomplished, and I've never been the Intercontinental Champion. There you have it. There's your story for the retirement tour. Few months of the retirement tour.
A part of one chapter.
Rhea Ripley is backstage. She's in the Judgment Day's den, their clubhouse, and she gives them a bit of a pep talk, talking about how Damian Priest and Gunther were brawling so much that they got banned from the building. I love the fact that the Judgment Day were doing a handicap match where they were all beating up Jey Uso.
Yeah, that's funny.
That was hilarious. Dominik Mysterio, though, he wants to talk to Rhea one-on-one, and he says he isn't sure why she said yeet to Jey Uso having her number, and she says, she was just playing around. Unlike you and Liv, but Finn Balor takes offense to that, and he wants Dominik to take care of Jey Uso. He says Jey Uso can't be going around disrespecting the Judgment Day, and Rhea says that they need to just forget about it and leave Jey Uso alone. But Finn doesn't want to hear that. He's once again going against the grain as far as what Rhea and Damian Priest think. He wants the Judgment Day to go look for Jey Uso because they can't leave well enough alone. That's the story of the Judgment Day when Priest and Rhea are not around.
Rhea's trifling. She's so protective of Jey Uso in this segment. What was this? Who does she think she is? And another thing, did you notice in the beginning of the show when they're showing the Judgment Day arrive in the arena, they show them in packs? The three heels in the front. Then they show Priest and Rhea. It's like, the baby faces. And then they show Carlito slacking in the back. He looks
the comedy act.
He looks so annoyed to be rolling his bag around. Like, wow, I got to carry my own bag. Like,
no, did you peep that he was carrying it at first, and then he realizes that it can roll?
But yeah, I found it very interesting.
Comedy when you don't even know it. He's comedy.
I found it very interesting. They separated the characters like that entering the arena.
Yeah. And Dominik was eating when they entered the arena as well.
Yeah. Dominik. This is like foreshadowing the two that are going to split off, I think.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Backstage, we get a segment with not too much audio, but it seems that Drew McIntyre has apologized to the referees from last week. He shakes hands with Adam Pearce, and he says that he's ready to give the fans what they want. I love when Drew feigns being a babyface. He's like, ready to give the fans what they want. And at this point, that's when we were announced that the Damian Priest and Gunther were ejected from the building, but I like the fact that they did it Adam Pearce did it the right way this week of doing it backstage instead of trying to embarrass Drew McIntyre again.
Yeah, Drew says he's going to give the fans what they want. Literally, an hour or more before he does the exact opposite. So remember that.
Never change, Drew. Never change. We had our next contest, which was Lyra Valkyria, along with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, going up against Sonya Deville with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. DeVille takes her
The
down to
stud line.
start
You
the
seen
match.
this nickname going around? The stud line. You've seen this?
Yeah,
On
I saw
social
even
media?
Meechin Mia Yim is calling them the stud line.
And they throw the twos up instead of the ones. What is going on? What is
No, they're not throwing twos up. Those are scissors.
the clothes scissors?
Yeah. They're not promiscuous. We got Lyra fights back. She gets up on with some shoulders in the corner. Valkyria is sent outside, but seems to have hurt her ribs a bit, which becomes the focus of Sonya Deville. I always pick up on when they do like the same body part being worked over in back-to-back matches. It always annoys me for some reason, and maybe it's just me.
Every Wednesday. That's for sure.
That too. Yeah, that happens too. Same finishes too. Valkyria strikes away.
Does anybody talk backstage? Jeez.
Getting to bridging suplexes. A gun. Oh my god, that gun wrench had me dying because Sonya would not let go of Lyra's waist, and Lyra audibly says, "Let go,
bitch." I love it. This made me love Lyra so much more.
I lost it. I could not take this that seriously. And the fact that you can audibly hear Lyra saying, "Let's go." That's what made me notice. I was like, the crowd ain't into this matchup. So I thought it was just me, but the crowd ain't into this matchup either because I heard that clear as day. We get all the ladies on the outside. They start brawling. The distraction is enough for DeVille to hit the DeVille's Advocate for the 1-2-3. This one went just over 8 minutes. We had a commercial in between, so we saw about 5 of it. It was fine, but the crowd didn't care for it much.
The crowd doesn't care about most women's matches, really, honestly, unless there's like one of the bigger stars in it, like a Rhea or a Becky or sometimes a Liv. Yeah, that's what I noticed with the women's matches, at least on the red brand. But Sonya looked a little rusty. Understandable. You know, she's just coming back. But I love what Lyra did. I you know, she's not a veteran of this locker room by any means.
But she's definitely a ring general.
Yes, for sure. And I admire the fact that she's like, you know, yelling at her opponent, like, you know, get your shit together. Like, that's a ring general right there. I like that. I like Lyra. That made me like Lyra. Let go.
Yes, he did with the Irish accent. We do have a super chat donation here from our boy Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says Finn trying to get that Bullet Club leader look in his eyes again. He's like the older son of the group that always thinks that he's in charge when mom and dad ain't there.
I love Finn because he's been playing his role very subtly. I think there's something to this. What Will's saying. We'll get into it later when you talk about another segment.
Yeah, 100%. Next up, it was time for the Wyatt 6 VHS of the week. This was sent to Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show. And this week's video is not an emotional, speech from Bo Dallas. It ain't talking about grief like it did with Eric Rowan. It is about what Michael Cole described as this witch-like figure that is Nikki Cross as Abby the Witch. We hear Uncle Hattie telling her to look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself.
Look at you.
Look at you. And we hear her loudly screaming, there you are. And she loudly screams and she looks, like a maniac. I didn't like this. I'll be honest. I get what they were going for, but it just wasn't as effective as the Rowan and Bo stuff.
Listen, I'm sure it scares the kids, shitless, but this was a dud. This is, in my opinion, the first dud of the Wyatt 6 since their return or debut.
Yeah.
This sucked. I think Nikki should be allowed to talk. I don't think she should be some screaming witch. She's actually a good talker if you let her talk, and I think she could pull this off very well. You already have a mute in the group. Yeah, that guy I don't think is going to talk. So Leave that to him and let her talk.
And she has a great story. I wanted to be your hero, but you rejected me. We had literally tried to help them on this review show with the promos. Like, they pretty much listened to us on Eric Rowan. They should have listened to us on Nikki Cross. That was fantastic. We praised that, me and Chase last week so much. Praised it again on True Hill Heat on Saturday. But yeah, I agree with you. This was a dud.
Like, Rowan's actually brought a tear to my eye. Like, it's like, who's gonna miss Rowan? Like, oh my god, that hurt so bad. And then this crap, you follow it with this crap from last night. Absolute dud. I would recommend you can retcon this, you can fix this, and actually build, just do another one. It's fine. We'll forget this ever happened.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Next up was the segment that I called my main event of last night. That meant after this segment, I went to sleep. Here is CM Punk. He is here returning in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Man of the people, CM Punk, clapping it up with all the fans at ringside. He even daps up Samantha Irvin. He gets into the ring and he says, it's a great night on a Monday night in Green Bay. I hate that he starts off every promo with this shit. It really annoys me. But he says his shoes are pink. I know. I don't like kiss ass CM Punk. I like angry CM Punk.
I know.
His shoes are pink, so he says, let's turn them to red with the blood of a Scotsman. He says the reality is he saw his doctor on Saturday and he is officially medically cleared. So let's do this right now. He starts taping up his fist and he says that he wants Drew McIntyre to get his ass out here right now so he can kick it. Here comes Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre says that he would love nothing more than to get into that ring and whoop CM Punk's ass. And he says, but he doesn't want to do that. Punk says, well, I do. And he starts. He says, well, I do. And he runs up the entranceway. He's stopped by referees and officials. Security cuts him off. So McIntyre holds up Punk's bracelet and he says that he wants to do this and fight. But he says he starts whenever he wants to fight, he thinks about his family and he holds up the bracelet. But he says that this is a money matchup and it's not going to happen in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This brings out Adam Pearce, who says that, yes, this match is a big-time money matchup. He says that McIntyre has been officially had his suspension lifted. He says CM Punk is cleared, so the match is on. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. But Adam Pearce says that they can't fight until then. He says that he doesn't want them to lay a finger on each other until SummerSlam. And if they do, the match is off and they will whoever starts the fight will be suspended. I mean, that's a hollow threat at this point, Pierce. That's a fucking hollow threat. Pierce says he has a referee problem that before he can even finish that freaking sentence, because he was fumbling over his words, the music of Seth Rollins hits. And out comes the former world heavyweight champion who shakes hands with Adam Pearce. Rollins gets in the ring and he says that we have a problem. And he says, I don't know about all of y'all, but I'm not a problem guy. I'm a solution guy. And he's here to solve the problem because at SummerSlam, he is going to be the special guest referee between these two. And he's wearing this ridiculous jacket while these two guys, like Punk had to try to keep a straight face. I don't know if you saw, but Punk looked like he wanted to laugh at him. This was so ridiculous what Seth was wearing while you have these two muscle-bound psychos who want to lay their hands on each other, want to beat the crap out of one another. But Seth is out here dancing and orchestrating the crowd, wearing that ridiculous jacket. He looked like a cartoon. He looked like a cartoon in comparison to Punk and Drew to me. But
vintage,
I think
vintage Seth Rollins.
But I think this was a great move. A great move, because this is much better than the alternative of a triple threat match. Put Seth in the middle of these two maniacs, and they've already set up the story with Drew attacking the referees, why they need a special guest referee because of the animosity between these two, because Drew has attacked referees in the past. No one wants to be in between them, but Seth does, because he has his issues with Drew McIntyre feuding with him and the early part of this year and the end of last year. He has his issues with Punk ever since Punk came back into the company, and especially after he cost him the world title at Money in the Bank. It makes a whole world of sense to put Seth right in the middle as special guest referee. But it is, I also can understand and acknowledge the caveat of that is that Seth is once again inserting himself into a hot storyline, which Drew McIntyre literally put on social media. He says, Seth Rollins, I want to put you in the stay out of a hot feud challenge. But next week, we did see later on in the show, Drew McIntyre approach Adam Pearce and ask him why he didn't tell him about Seth being the special guest referee. And didn't you think that was valuable information? He says, well, you got to calm down. No one wants to be in between y'all. Seth was the best option. And I will see you next week with Punk in the ring when Seth gives you his referee instructions.
Oh, look at this Photoshop. Wow.
It's like they put a referee suit over one of those ridiculous jackets, ridiculous outfits Seth is wearing. What did you think about this segment here? I thought it was good. It gave us the match that we've been looking forward to, the hottest match, the hottest feud outside of it's between this and the Liv and Rhea matchup as far as what's the hottest feud, the hottest build going into SummerSlam. But they made it official. You got Seth Rollins in the middle of this. What do you think about all of this?
This was good. It did what it needed to accomplish. Adam Pearce was the worst part of it. Did you ever have really any doubts that we were not going to get this at SummerSlam? You think CM Punk wasn't going to be cleared or anything?
No, I was fairly certain that Punk would be cleared by SummerSlam.
Same. And I'm glad it's happened. I think it's genius to make Seth the referee for just for the reason that you kind of have an out now here with the outcome of the match, where like Seth maybe affects it, and that
not a maybe. Yeah. There ain't no maybe. He's definitely gonna affect this, and this is the way you protect both guys.
And he causes reason for a rematch, and then another rematch to make it the best of three, which we all hope and think is Hell in a Cell. Now, CM Punk, it's up to you to survive this match, and then survive a second match. And then if you want to get hurt in Hell in a Cell, fine, everybody will understand. It's Hell in a Cell. But yeah, I'm ready, man. This is one of the big hooks for SummerSlam. This whole feud, which has been building for God knows how long. This is one of the main hooks of SummerSlam, and we got it.
Yeah. The SummerSlam card looks much better now that this is included. It looks much better.
100%.
I can get over they did a good job of adding some heat and a personal rivalry to Gunther and Damian Priest.
That helps.
They did a good job of adding Seth into this in the best way possible. The best way possible was not a triple threat. It was him as the special guest referee. That was a good decision. Rhea and Liv have had a strong build to it. Oh, yeah. I really feel the only one that they need to kind of juice up a bit, and that the only way that you can do that is by having Solo get some wins. It's Cody and Solo. You need Solo to get a major win on this week's SmackDown or next week's SmackDown. And then I'm confident that all the build has been good overall for SummerSlam.
Agreed. 100% agreed. And let me just say off note here that I hate the SummerSlam theme song. I hate everything. Like, you get so hyped for this card, and then boom, then they play this whack ass song. It's like, and by the way, speaking of songs, I hate the Raw song. Oh, this Raw song is trash. Can we get a new one already? Oh, I'm sorry. I had to get that out. I had to rant that out.
Hey, you probably been holding that in for a while. So I understand. We got Annika who says, I agree with the internet. Seth has to wear HBK 1999 ref gear. Nah, it's not 1999. It's either 1997 or 1998, whatever you want to say. But
no.
no, it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit Seth.
Yeah, it doesn't fit him. He's gonna have his.
He's gonna have big
oh
sleeves.
My, I can't imagine. It's gonna be like black and white too. It's gonna be ridiculous.
He's gonna have black and white pants, baggy black and white pants too.
Bell bottoms.
It's gonna be so ridiculous,
so bad. You can only imagine.
So ridiculous.
You're gonna be wishing he was wearing the Shawn gear.
Yes. I agree. So, what do you think the finish is gonna be? I think we're gonna see SummerSlam 1997. Drew's gonna go Seth into hitting him with a steel chair. He moves. He hits Punk. 1, 2, 3. I think Drew McIntyre has to win this match at SummerSlam.
You think so?
Yeah.
I could see like Drew goading Seth, and then Seth actually delivers it to Drew, and Punk wins kind of dirty, like with Seth's help, and then Punk doesn't like it, and then Punk gets mad at Seth. We need
Punk to be mad at Seth because he cost him the match. I don't think that really. Why would Punk be mad at Seth helping him? That's out of Punk's character. Punk is not. Even though he tries to act like he's the biggest good guy in the world, no, you're not. That's not who you are. That's not even how you've been presented since you came back. You try to do that with your entrance and with your promos, but everything in you is a petty dude. So it would make more sense for him to have animosity towards Seth if he costs him the matchup, even if it's by accident.
Yeah, but I could see it both ways. Drew probably better for him to win though.
Yeah.
So Punk can win the second because I think Drew's going to overall win the third.
I could see that. Big Man Dog says, have you guys noticed that they don't have show intros anymore? Maybe because the songs are so ass. Yeah, they just do the kind of the sports type of intro that they do on like the pre-games for like NFL and NBA when you see the athletes arriving at the building. They now do that for Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, they should have an intro though that they play. They should, in theory. But this song sucks. Oh, it's so bad. It really is annoying.
We got Eric who says Drew has to win. I'm right there with you. I think Drew has been screwed over enough. We got to have him win at SummerSlam. All right, next up, we go backstage to the Judgment Day, not listening to their mommy, Rhea Ripley, as they are off to find Jey Uso. We get Finn Balor, who's leading this pack, and he wants to do like Scooby-Doo and separate and split up. So JD and Carlito go off. Finn and Dom are going on. Finn tells Dom to head that way and see if Jay is that way. And, of course, he is flagged down by Liv Morgan, who says, don't worry about Rhea Ripley. It's all right. He says, no, things are perfect between me and mommy. She's like, good. This is our little secret. Here is Finn Balor to say that he can't even leave Dom alone for 10 seconds, and he's already over here with Liv Morgan, and then he just shakes his head as Dom walks the opposite way because Dom wants to walk in the direction of Liv, but Finn's like, no, let's go the opposite way.
Finn is in on this whole Liv Dom thing. What? He just randomly sent Dom in the direction that Liv was waiting for him at? Fuck out of here. That shit was planned, staged. They're in cahoots, all of them together to break Rhea's heart. Wow, this is when it happens, it's gonna hit like crack. Man.
So
and
mean.
Liv. Creeping in the shadows. She looked amazing. My goodness. Woo. Man.
Next, we go to another side of the backstage area where Sami Zayn is talking about Braun Breaker, and he says that he's taking Braun Breaker very seriously. He tells Braun to not make the same mistake that he did at Money in the Bank, and he better be taking Sami seriously. As he's talking, we hear a big commotion in the background, and Sami runs up to see that Judgment Day is jumping Jey Uso. He fights off Judgment Day alongside Jay until they run off. We even hear JD saying, abort, abort, abort. No, Carlito says, abort, abort, abort. And Jay and Sammy stand tall as they set up what would happen later on in the night. And we have a run-in. You want to say hi to the people? You got something in your mouth? You got water in your mouth? Drink the water. There you go. It's one of your favorites. It's Romeo.
You want me all? I'm drinking water.
Harlem World. You should have spat it out like Triple H.
And tell the people to like, share, and subscribe.
Not just subscribe to eat.
And send super chat.
Super chat and super chat.
You
Subscribe
heard
to How the Pan and Eat the Water.
She said subscribe to see Harlem drink water.
It's one of our selling points.
There we go. Yeah, she always draws. She always draws. She's a draw. She's another draw of the show, of the channel in general. But yeah, what did you think about the backstage segment with Judgment Day and Jay and Sammy?
No, it's cool. Get yourself a buddy like Sami Zayn. Guys,
Absolutely.
what a friend. Do thick and thin.
Hey, you see your homie getting jumped? That's how I would do. Even with me and Romeo, who are rivals, I would have his back. I would have his back if he got jumped by Judgment Day.
I'd never say that.
Especially Carlito.
Oh, my own cousin? Shit. What the fuck is this?
Next up, we would say backstage earlier in the night that Woods got a birthday cake for Akira Tozawa, as today is his birthday, as Xavier Woods would be teaming up with the Alpha Academy, Otis,
Did you see Otis
Akira...
grab a big piece of cake with his bare hands? This guy.
Greedy ass dude. She came back with the actual cup of water.
What's it? Hello, Mio.
She laughs like hi Harlem. She laughs like Liv Morgan.
The wink and song.
And who's your favorite wrestler?
John Spear.
John Spear? And who else? Who else is
John
your
Cena
favorite?
gets all of them.
Gets all the kids. All the kids.
Jeez, this guy's not even around. He's still making fans. Crazy.
W Western Man.
Oh, that's her favorite brand, WWE? Ah.
A fan.
He's about to fall off my leg. You have anything else to say?
All rise for the Judgment Day. Say that, Harlem.
Do you like the Judgment Day? The Judgment Day? All right. You can't stay steady on this because the chair. I think the chair has a wobbly leg, so you can't sit on my leg.
I could just see her spilling water all over the computer.
Yeah, that too. I didn't want that to happen. All right. But yeah, we had the trios matchup of Xavier Woods and Alpha Academy versus the Final Testament.
My guy.
Your guy. Karrion Kross is here. This is how I knew it was time for me to go to sleep. But I woke up this morning and I watched this. Woods chops away at Razor in the corner. The real kind of good portion of this matchup came after they started isolating Akira Tozawa. He eventually makes the hot tag to Otis. Otis cleans house. He's in his hometown of Green Bay, Wisconsin, and this crowd went crazy for Otis. You would have thought that this was Otis from 2 months ago when he was hotter than ever. He's doing the caterpillar on Akam. Everything breaks down. Woods does a blind tag in on Otis. We get him coming off the top rope with a missile drop kick, but he gets a distraction from Razor, and eventually, after a big dive to the outside by Akira Tozawa, as he does a dive off the ring post, we get Kross catching Woods with the final prayer. Thankfully, he cut out the pump handle part of the final prayer. So it looked much smoother. It looked much smoother than it usually does, as Final Testament picks up another victory here. This one went 8.5 minutes. Final Testament wins here. This rivalry, though, has stalled ridiculously. We would learn later in the night Xavier Woods went to Adam Pearce and he challenged Karrion Kross to a one-on-one matchup. Please, I hope that this is going to lead to a next chapter because we've been on this chapter pretty long of the Final Testament and New Day rivalry.
Yeah, I don't know what the stalling's for, but Karrion Kross needs to win. He needs to win everything. Yeah, like if you want people to care about him, he needs to be dominant. Doesn't need distractions. Just let him win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He looks
Are you
great.
coming in again?
He's in great shape. He looks great.
He's gotten himself into great shape. What are you doing on? Don't be putting your mouth on the knob. What are you doing? Either come in or you go out. Yeah, don't do that.
Nothing like good old refreshing H2O.
Oh, this for me? All right. You gonna go now? All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Dada,
Yeah.
look.
Look at what?
I see this there.
What is on Disney?
That's another. My name.
Aladdin? Okay, she's watching Aladdin.
Oh,
This is
Lamar concert or something.
I don't
They not
remember the
like
last time
us. They not like us. That'd have been on Disney.
I don't remember the last time she gave us four interruptions in a row. 4 run-ins in a row. You can't climb on me. No. I told you the stool is kind of wobbly. You want to take your water?
Yeah.
See, even Romeo's got his own water. He's following after you.
Refreshing.
All right.
You should see what I drink in the nighttime.
Oh boy. But right after this matchup, after Final Testament picked up the victory, Otis and Akira Tozawa's night was not over as Chad Gable.
I knew this was coming, and then I knew what was coming after. Anytime this guy
Chad-
comes out, you know what the next sequence of events is.
Facts. Chad Gable and the Creeds come out to interrupt them. Woods
Looking
leaves
sharp.
as it's just the Alpha Academy in the ring. Gable gets on the mic and he says that, look, he can appreciate the fact that Otis has taken a leadership role in the group. But what is the first thing that they go off and do? They team up with Woods and they lose. He gives them a chance to join the team for one night only, which could also keep them safe from the Wyatt Six. Otis turns him down yet again, and he says that, what did you do last week? You proved exactly who you were. When things got tough and the Wyatt Six came around, you just left the Creeds hanging. But this leads to Chad Gable basically saying, Creeds, get him. And they attacked the Alpha Academy. The Creeds beat down Otis. Otis eventually fights back. He hits a big clothesline on both Julius and Brutus. He then grabs Gable. He looks like he's about to give him the world's strongest slam when the Creeds attack him from behind. They post him. They take him to the outside. They throw him back first into the LED boards. Gable gets them steel chairs. They look like they're going to continue the assault when the lights go down. And then the piano starts playing. Dun, 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 dun. This leads to the Wyatt Six coming out. I love this entrance where it looks like they're coming out the light portal together. It just looks so cool. It's so dope visually. But I also knew by how the blocking of this whole segment was. I was like, Uncle Howdy's gonna come from behind and attack Gable. This was like very predictable, like you said. Everything that happened here was very predictable of what was going to happen because of how everything was staged here. So with the Creeds looking at the Wyatt Six coming down the entranceway, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas comes from behind. He surprises Gable. He gets him into the Sister Abigail, and he stands tall in the ring. Well, kneels tall in the ring, laying out Gable. Gable did a excellent sell to the Sister Abigail, landing. He posted himself head first onto the mat with the Sister Abigail. So great visually. This was a fun segment to kind of wash your mouth out from the dud that was the Nikki Cross VHS. What did you think?
I agree with you about Gable. So I also thought Otis sold his ass off too, bumping around for the Creeds. Uncle Howdy, I like the look. There's only one problem though. Oh, listen, I know he's not his brother, but I think Bo Dallas should be sleeved up with tattoos. It would just add so much more to the look instead of the blank farmer's tan, white arms, Sheamus arms. You know, in my opinion, I go get inked up on both arms, Bo Dallas. Put whatever means something to you on them, and you'll look so much more badass with the whole look, with the mask and the sleeveless and all that. And the sister Abigail was great. Good job. But I think he's got to get inked up for the character. Sorry to his wife. His wife probably won't like it, or whoever he's going to be with, whatever. But yeah.
Isn't he with Liv still?
I don't think they are together anymore.
No? Oh, that makes sense.
I think he's
Liv's been
single
active.
and ready to mingle.
Oh, we got
one look at the Dom storyline. I was like, nope.
Doesn't look like that relationship lasted too long. Slono Mike says she needs her own segment. I think he's talking about Harlem. That's fair.
Yes.
That is fair. That is fair.
Water break.
We also we get Attica, who says Harlem Heat. We also got Chase, who says all I see Romeo drink on this channel is water.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Never he drinks clear drinks. That's it. That's it. We got Annika, who says howdy do is killing it. And we also got Safet, who says the Wyatt 6-part was great. I thought Gable and the Creeds came off well, but it felt like this was like a 1 week aberration as far as the crowd being heavily invested into Otis. Like I've said it once, I'll say it again on here. It feels like they missed the peak of the Otis part of this story.
I still think they could get back there again. I think the crowd does love and warm up to Otis, but it's a little. It's like we're doing a little stalling here.
It's another one. It's another one that feels like they stalled on this story.
Hey man, it's hard to write episodic TV for every single week with no weeks off. You find yourself trying to build to these important events at important shows at important timing. I understand it's not easy.
I agree. We got another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Will Chisholm, who says, when did Bo's arms get jacked? He did look good. His arms, like, physically, well, as far as definition, it did look good. I wouldn't say jacked, but it looked defined.
He looks better. He's had plenty of time to work out, do some push-ups, lift some weights, you know? I like the look better without all that extra. Remember when Uncle Howdy would wrestle, he'd have all this shit on? Yeah, that. Look like this.
He used to come out in the Sting jacket, the long leather jacket and stuff.
Yeah, he looked fat. Well, we know Bo Dallas is not fat.
Eric Isaac saying, Howdy's new mask is so badass and proud of my new Wyatt 6 shirt. There you go. There you have it. People are into it. People are into it. Next up, we were supposed to get a match of Pete Dunne going one-on-one with Bronson Reed, a rematch from 2 weeks ago. But never mind, we didn't. It was Sheamus who came out. He ran in. I guess this is better than another DQ finish, as he just comes in before the match even starts. He starts beating up on Bronson Reed. He then also attacks Pete Dunne. He gives him the 10 beats of the Bowery. He looks for the bro kick, but Dunne bails. So instead, he hits Bronson Reed with the bro kick to lay him out as Pete Dunne walks up the entranceway. A little bit later on, we hear from Sheamus. He says he's happy to settle things with Pete Dunne. He says they can do this one of two ways. They can head to the pub and me can get a pint, or they can talk out whatever is going on, or they can deal with it in the ring if he'd prefer a banger. Effective promo, but the lack of match, it was just like, okay, I guess you didn't have any other good ideas here.
I thought it was exactly what it needed to be. Sheamus owes both those guys an ass whooping. Why wait? Just go out there and fuck them up right away. Screw it. I respect that. And, you know, Sheamus and Dunne, it just seems like they're definitely gonna have a bar fight. They've both done it before, that kind of match. They've both done it. So yeah, why not?
They need to give us a good old fashioned Donnybrook match.
Mm-hmm.
Donnybrook fight. There you go. Backstage, Rhea Ripley yells at the Judgment Day for going after Jey Uso. She wants to know, she saw what happened with Jey and Sammy, and Finn says that he's going to take care of it. He says him and JD should take care of Sammy and Jey tonight. He's talked to Adam Pearce, and he's got it taken care of. And he says, as a matter of fact, he's also going to take care of Gunther. He didn't like what he said earlier in the night, so he's going one-on-one with Gunther next week. Ripley doesn't like the fact that they got handed to them, and they said, where was Finn and Dom when this was going on? And Carlito snidely says under his breath, go ask Liv Morgan. And Rhea grabs up Dom and says, we're gonna go handle this. We're going to the ring right now. She grabs him by the ear, and basically this leads to our next segment where Rhea Ripley drags Dominik by his ear, pushes him to the ring. She says that if Liv Morgan wants him, come get him. Liv then pops up in the crowd, once again, not wanting to be near Rhea Ripley. And she says that she has waited for Rhea Ripley this long. She can wait for SummerSlam. Morgan says that she and Dom have feelings for each other. And she knows Dom feels the same way. And the reality of this all is that men like Dom, gorgeous men like Dom, don't wind up with women who look like Rhea Ripley. This pisses off Rhea so much that she wants to go into the crowd and get her hands on Liv, but Dom stops her, holding on to her. And Liv is just flaunting herself.
Woo!
Just keep that picture up for a moment there. But Dom explains. Get up the view, smash up the like. Dominik basically gets on the mic and he says that he's going to tell Liv how he really feels. And he says that he can't stand her. She has ruined his life. Liv wants him to say the three little words, and Dom says it. He says, I hate you, cabrón.
Those aren't the words.
He starts screaming at her in Spanish until Liv slowly breaks down. She starts crying.
Some of these insults in Spanish were a bit much, Dom. Yeah, you cannot get away with saying this in English.
Can you translate it?
Basically called her a bitch.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Crazy, idiot, all that stuff. This is very demeaning.
Yeah, this is not right. This is not right. Ripley was very pleased with all of this. We see her with a big smile behind Dominik as Liv breaks down. She is heartbroken. She walks away crying.
Poor thing.
Poor Liv. Liv is the babyface. Liv has always been the babyface in this situation.
I've said that since the beginning.
Meanwhile, Rhea Ripley is very pleased with Dominik talking down to Liv and bad-mouthing her so much that she gives, for the first time, some actual PDA to Dom. She grabs him by the hair, she kisses him on the cheek, and she licks him, slobbers him down. Yeah. And it seems that Dom has finally chosen which side he is on. He has chosen Rhea Ripley over Liv Morgan. Oh, so we think. What did you think about this segment here? I thought the crowd was very much into it. I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining. I thought Dom was a little much with the insults, especially after you gave me the translation here. But I thought he performed very well in this scenario. Liv as the seductress was awesome. Not so awesome with the crocodile tears, but I feel that they can make up for that when they reveal that this was all a ploy to get Rhea Ripley off the scent of what's going on really with Dom and Liv.
Yeah, I feel like this is a segment that I can judge better when I know what the direction is, what the ultimatum is, like, because I felt bad for Liv, especially when I heard what Dom said, all that demeaning stuff in Spanish. It's like, am I supposed to feel bad for Liv? I know I'm the Liv fan. I'm supposed to root for Liv. That's me personally. But like, I imagine the average viewer who's rooting for Rhea Ripley is like, oh, that was kind of mean, Dom.
I mean, it's kind of easy to root for Liv.
Yeah. I just imagine like what the average viewer is thinking that doesn't have like, that's like rooting for Rhea, but like doesn't really like Dom. It's like it's kind of a weird dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I hope in theory that this is all just Liv and Dom setting up Rhea to be weak and vulnerable so that they can do what they do at SummerSlam, probably. And, you know, the end of Judgment Day as we know it, if that happens.
I think I'm going to keep these two pictures up. This one.
They don't need to see us.
And this one for like the rest of the show.
We should take Dom's face out, but yeah. Stupid mustache.
You know, it's like if you're watching porn, you kind of want to visualize yourself in it. You could just put your own face on Dom and in actuality, it did raise the viewership of our show here on YouTube. Yeah. So
that mustache is ridiculous. He's ridiculous. Look at this disgusting shit. Oh
man, this was fun. This was fun. This is the usual entertainment that we get from this whole love triangle, which has been a success for WWE in the ratings as well as engagement in the crowd. So it's been a success.
I'm sorry, that's all I saw on my timeline on Twitter. So when I opened the app, everything was Rhea and Liv. These hornballs were going crazy for us. Crazy. So yeah, they really got the engagement up.
We got Annika who says, I don't think Triple H didn't realize how much the fans love booing Dom. We also got Chase who says the city of Green Bay was probably confused at hearing a foreign language. Wouldn't think that was too many people in the crowd who can understand what Dom was really saying.
No.
We also got Eric who says, don't trust Dirty Dom. Yeah, like the crocodile tears, it did make sense to me that she was faking. That had to be bad acting by Liv because she was genuinely bad. Yeah, purposely bad acting.
Which in turn makes it good acting because she's doing what she's supposed to pretend to be bad at acting. It's like, that's hard to do.
Yeah, this is really an enjoyable segment. We do have a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Will Chisholm. He says felt very iffy when Dom gets mad, I think. When Dom gets mad. Yes, it was very much came off like a guy who got caught cheating a couple of weeks ago and been like, I don't even know this girl. I don't know her. I hate you. Hate you, bitch. You see that, babe? You see that? You see that?
Yeah, that was ugly. Rhea, what a fool, Rhea. What a fool.
Falling for the okie doke. Falling for the Dom okie doke. Sad.
Now she's like, now she's like, I have to show you PDA because that's what Liv gives you, huh?
Yep. Have to make this even. Have to even up the scales here. We got Antoine who says Liv needs to be petty and take the PS5 and TV out of the clubhouse.
Next week the clubhouse should be empty. They should be
like,
and Dom should be starving.
Yes, no chicken nuggies. No chicken nuggies for me. And Power Driver Finisher says this was the wrestling version of Shaggy. It wasn't me.
By the way, next 2 weeks on Sci-Fi. So good luck with these wrestling fans. We're so lazy. Like, oh, it's not on USA. I don't know where Sci-Fi is. I'm not gonna look. I guess I'll just watch the Olympics.
It's gonna be like SmackDown on FS1.
Yeah.
We get Will Chisholm and says, I meant to say very Eddie. Oh, yes. Yes. It was very Eddie. Yes, very Eddie. I agree. There was
true. Flashes of Eddie Guerrero there over the top, screaming in Spanish. Yep. Yeah.
I can see that. I can also see this.
Eddie would fall too.
Don't worry, Dad would fall too, buddy. Speaking of Eddie, we hear the Viva la Raza next as Zelena Vega. Yes, Zelena Vega is here with her arm all taped up from last week for a chat before her matchup with Kathy Kelly. She says she is tired of being underestimated, so it's time to shut some people up as she's going to go one-on-one with Zelena, with with Zoe Stark. Excuse me, I got that wrong twice. This one goes one third of the stud line. Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler are here too. Vega slugs away at Stark, but Stark goes after the bad arm. We get some interference from Sonya and Shayna when Shayna trips up Zelena. This cues up Lyra Valkyria, Kaden Carter, and Katana Chance to brawl with the stud line, allowing Vega to hit her with the cast, cheating to win, hitting her with the cast multiple times, and then she follows up with the code red for the victory here in eight. I know, but you can't play the music on YouTube. You gotta get us copyright strikes.
Yeah.
Zelena Vega and Zoe Stark pick up the victory in this one. What did you think?
Listen, I love Zelena Vega. That's my boricua. But there's no way she should have won this match. She's got a freaking cast on her arm. How the hell was she cleared? All the bullshit that's going on with these injuries on Raw. And she's cleared. And then she wins? What? You have the stud line lose already? Shit. Damn. Well, that's bad for them. Like, I don't care if there was like any kind of distractions going on or anything like that. It's cheating with the cast. Nah, that should have never happened. Zelena should have lost. She wouldn't have lost anything losing with a freaking cast on her arm.
I agree with you because it then made no fucking sense, the segment that we got right after this. As you see, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire are going to be on SmackDown to address their next challengers, Jade Cargo and Bianca Belair. Sonya Deville and company come in to lay them as the next challengers and says they are dominating the division. Both of these teams said they're dominating the division when Isla and Alba have had all of one match since Clash at the Castle, yes, 2 pay-per-views ago. And then we have Sonya and Shayna and Zoe who just lost, and they're saying they dominate this division. And they just got together 2 weeks ago. What are we talking about?
Oh, and by the way, Isla, don't think I didn't see you losing one-on-one in Mexico to Stephanie Vakir. Don't think I didn't see that just because it wasn't on TV. You're not dominant at all.
So bad. This made no sense. No sense when you know those facts. No sense. But yeah, the match was a nothing match. The crowd wasn't into it much. It only went about, we saw 5 minutes of that match with Zelena and Zoe. But the backstage segment was objectively worse because it made no sense. Next up, we get another Gunther vignette ahead of SummerSlam. He talks about the other world heavyweight champions since the title was created last year. And he gives credit to Seth Rollins for bringing prestige to the title. But he worked his heart out. He worked himself so bad that he got hurt. And he eventually dropped the title to Drew McIntyre. But Drew was so distracted with other people, a non-factor like CM Punk, that he didn't even able to hold the title for more than 5 minutes. Then you had Damian Priest, who's been trying to hold the title with pride, but he is unworthy of that championship. He says that he is not like the other champions of this title. He doesn't play to the crowd and try to walk around like he's a clown. He wants to bring prestige to the World Heavyweight Championship, and he will do just that at SummerSlam. I've been loving these vignettes.
Very effective. Gunther is going to make an amazing world champion when that happens. It just will not be happening at SummerSlam. You heard it here first.
What we need you to come on to the preview now. If you really think this, you got to be. We'll have our SummerSlam preview next Wednesday here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So I'm laying down the gauntlet for Romeo to stand on 10 toes and bring that to the preview.
El Campeón, Damian Priest. This is what he's been working towards. The ultimate win and win clean over Gunther.
I mean, this would be the crowning achievement of his reign if he won clean here.
The mission statement. will be fulfilled.
We got another super chat donation from our boy Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will, for the donation. He says, it is funny how people think Zoe is gay in the group, but she's married to a guy who's 50 years old, and she looks 50 in the face. Oh, my God. Will, did we have to make a disclaimer for you?
Well, what? Oh, well. So I'm not touching that. But thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat, but damn, man. We were proud of you. You were the chosen one.
It's rough.
That was rough. That was very rough. Power Driver
Leave
Finisher
Zoe
says,
alone.
Power Driver Finisher says, barely cleared to compete. Heels cheat. She finally uses Cass to cheat, rightfully so, but as a babyface and wins. There you go. She finally got a win. Now I can stop saying that Zelena Vega's last singles victory was August of 2023. Now it's July of 2024.
Hey.
Only took 11 months.
I cannot believe it had the stud line lose in 2 weeks to someone with a cast. It's funny.
We got Safed who says he doesn't make any sense at all with Zelena winning and then the segment after that. Nope.
And I love Zelena. That's my girl. Queens, Puerto Rican. That's just me being unbiased, though. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No,
people say I'm biased all the time. And look at me here. Like, just proving I'm wrong week after week.
We also got AOP who says Jimmy won't be happy, Romeo. I'm going to invite Jimmy too. I'm going to say Jimmy, Romeo for SummerSlam. Yes. So he wants to see Gunther as world heavyweight champion and Braun Breaker as Intercontinental champion.
That's still going to happen. Gunther's still going to be champion. It's just going to be at Bash in Berlin, which you look at the calendar, is a few weeks later.
That makes sense. That makes sense too. But he needs to go in as world heavyweight champion. That's what needs to happen. And face Ilya Dragonov. That Bash.
Priest needs his W to put the stamp on his title reign. It'll make it. One match will make it. The whole thing. One match.
But then finally, we had the main event of the show. Oh, my bad. That's the wrong picture. Wrong picture. My bad.
Wow.
My bad, guys. My bad. The main event of the show. The main event of the show was Sami Zayn and Jey Uso back together, and it feels so good. Sami Uso with Jey Uso as they came in through the crowd going amped for the entrance as Sami's doing his big dance and stuff to the entrances.
Now they're selling these yeet foam fingers. Oh, the cash is rolling in. They just finding new ways.
He's a merch fiend
Cash
right
cow.
now for them with the yeet. Yes.
Like, yeet
and they are facing the Judgment Day, the World Tag Team Champions, Finn Balor and GD McDonough, with Carlito and Dominik Mysterio in their corner. This was a very fun main event matchup. All four guys working very hard in this one. You get Zayn comes in. He gets taken into the corner by where McDonough sends him face first into the buckle, but Zayn's able to take them out to the outside, hits an Arabian moonsault before we go to commercial break. Carlito posts him to give Judgment Day the advantage. When we come back from commercial break, Priest is working over Zayn in the corner, so McDonough can get a 2 count. Balor elbow to the head gets another 2 count. Zayn was able to get a hot tag after a blue thunder bomb. We get Uso coming in. He starts running around cleaning house. He gets dropped though by a sling blade. McDonough drops a springboard moonsault for a 2 count, but Balor gets super kicked out of the apron for a needed breather. We get double tags, and then Zayn is running wild. We get a suplex into the corner. He goes for the Aluva kick, but Dominik Mysterio is able to distract him. That lets McDonough hits a beautiful-looking Spanish fly. At this point, the crowd is chanting, "This is awesome." Really good matchup. Man, this is like, oh man, Sami Zayn in a main event tag match. This is when Raw was excellent last year. Everything breaks down. as Balor is sent outside. We get Zayn hits a haluva kick on JD. He then flies over the top rope with a tope con hilo, while Jey Uso hits the Uso splash for the 1-2-3. This match going 16 and a half minutes. We only had one commercial break, so we saw about 13 minutes of this one. This was probably the best laid out long match that we've seen on Monday Night Raw in quite some time. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso pick up the victory, but post-match, they did not get to celebrate for long as Braun Breaker comes out behind Jey Uso's back, hits a big spear to the Intercontinental Champion.
Jay, turn around, Jay. Oh, stop yeeting.
Jay finally turns around after he's done yeeting as Braun bails from the ring. And once again, back-to-back weeks, Braun Breaker closes the show, getting the better of Sami Zayn. Thought this was a very good main event. Probably the best main event we've seen in a couple of weeks here on Monday Night Raw. And we got two very good to great matches on the show. Much better than last week. I thought last week was a very good show when it came to angles and promos and the stories going on, but it lacked in the wrestling department. But this week was the best balance of when Raw is firing on all cylinders. And this match was a big cherry on top of that. What did you think?
Yeah, 100% agreed with you. This was a very solid match. Great chemistry between all these guys. That's mostly JD McDonough. That's kind of new to this, but everybody else has sort of battled many times before. But yeah, so this was all fun. And the post-match, Braun again looking strong. I mean, geez, they keep making Braun look good. It's coming across good. Jay, come on, man. Turn around, Jay. And listen, Jay and Sammy, they beat the tag champs. They are owed a tag team championship match. Hopefully they wait until after SummerSlam until things die down a bit, but who knows? Maybe they'll have it next Monday. We'll announce it. I don't know. We'll see. And then Braun cost them that.
We shall see. We shall see. But very fun main event matchup. Very good angle at the end with Braun looking good again. I would tend to think that Sammy is going to get the better of Braun next week, though, before SummerSlam.
Sure.
Think that's fair. But that brings us to a close on another edition of Monday Night Raw. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us live and sending those Super Chat donations. Last call for Super Chat donations before we close things up. But you know the deal, how we do here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give this week's show? For me and Romeo for the July 22nd, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Romeo?
7.2.
I'm going to go higher than you. I think this is a rare case of going higher than you. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
Woo.
8 out of 10.
Okay.
8 out of 10 show. I really, really like the Liv, Dom, and Rhea angle. I like the Punk, Drew, and Seth stuff. And we got two great matches between the main event and Braun and Ilya. So that's what I want. I want the nice balance of give me 2 to 3 good to great matches and give me the stories that are firing all cylinders. The only setback to this, why I won't go higher than an 8 out of 10, is the Wyatt 6 stuff with the VHS was a letdown. That was the only real big letdown on the show. And the Gunther and Priest brawl was excellent as well. So that's why I go 8 out of 10. What was your match of the night, Romeo?
The main event.
I'm gonna go with
Braun and Ilya was
versus.
good, but yeah. Sorry, Braun and Ilya was good, but I just felt a little shorter, and the finish, and even though the finish was cool, at least the main event had a finish.
I'm going to go with Braun and Ilya. I love the finish. I love the referee stoppage finish to protect Ilya at all costs. So I'm going to go with that. What was your LVP for the show?
I don't want to give it to Nikki because it's not her fault. So let's say Triple H because I'm sure he okayed the thing.
I'm going to go with Studline. Y'all just got here and y'all already losing. And then y'all say y'all taking over the division after you just lost. What? That didn't make any sense to me. And your MVP for the show.
Braun Breaker for sure, but honorable mention to Damian Priest, who didn't even say a word really. Looked like a badass. They both looked like badasses last night. Both of them.
I'm gonna go with Braun Breaker and co-MVP for Braun Breaker, Damian Priest, and Gunther. Priest and Gunther because they elevated their SummerSlam matchup in my eyes, and Braun because he had an excellent matchup with Ilya, and then he closed out the show once again. So great night for Braun Breaker. So that brings us to a close on another edition of Rated Raw Review. We appreciate y'all for joining us. We appreciate you. I Make Beats for joining the party late. You can watch it on the replay, man. You can watch it on demand. That's no problem at all. But Romeo, as always, I appreciate you for joining me this week. Hopefully, we can make it back-to-back weeks. We can go back-to-back next week, and you'll join me for next week's Go Home to SummerSlam. But the floor is yours. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
I'm not sure, SP. I'm not sure I can find the Sci-Fi channel. What channel is that? That's gonna be a lot of wrestling fans next week.
Yes.
What is sci? How do you spell sci-fi? What is that?
They changed the spelling on us too.
It's not even spelled SCI. What is this? But yeah, thank you all for the super chats. Will Chisholm, appreciate you. Thank you all. Thumbs up this video if you haven't already. Follow me, Romeo Damas, on all social media and YouTube.
Absolutely. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. The best place to support us. If you can't support us here when we are here live, $3 a month gets you exclusive content, and that's the best place to support the channel in the best way possible. But of course, you can also do that by checking out all the great content we got on the channel right now. We had Collision Discourse yesterday with me and Sober Guy reviewing AEW Collision. I did a in-depth review of TNA Slammiversary on Sunday, so go over and check that out. But I will be back here live tomorrow, I believe, once again, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with our Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor preview with my special guest, Fightful's Own, my tag team partner for the ROH post show, Kate of Fightful, will be joining me to break down and give our predictions for Death Before Dishonor this coming Friday. And of course, I'll be back here on Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with AE Ramble. And then you got two days of maybe shorts. Maybe I'll see if I can squeeze in an interview to drop on the channel on either Friday or Saturday. But you got a couple of days wait before we're back live again with the True Hill Heat Flagship Podcast. We'll be live on Sunday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. So join us for that as well. But stay locked here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content. But until then, for Romeo, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. Oh my God, that's not the thumbnail. My bad.
Oops.
This has been Rated Raw Review number 27. 3 little words. We are signing off until next time.